Started to see that there is a whole spectrum and range of experience related to my femininity and sexuality that once I thought was only seen through one particular lens. And that lens was that my sexuality was to be shared with someone else. So when I started to explore not only yoni massage, but my erotic nature, I started to see that my eroticism and my sexuality actually has nothing to do with anyone else besides myself. And when I began to integrate a different perspective, one that actually turned the lens on myself, I began to reclaim and integrate a whole field of experience towards my body, towards feeling, towards sensation, towards stories and ideas and beliefs that I had, and honing in, narrowing in something that is beyond the usual or normal concepts of sex and sexuality. And that started to be something that was relating to my sexual energy, not as something that's localized within the genital area for pleasure and pleasure to be shared with someone or through masturbation, but as an actual life force energy, as something that moves through my entire being and is the impulse of where I come from in my creativity, in my relationship to life itself. We see sexual energy in the backdrop of sacred sexuality as a source of life force energy, as I've said before. And when we do reframe this relationship towards sexual energy as something opposed to just being sex, we can see that this is a way in which we come into contact with an embrace of who we are as a woman, and also for men in their own way. When we start to see our sexuality as something for ourselves and of ourselves, we can also see the ways or the shadow side of our sexual nature that is being leaked out and used to get what we want, used to manipulate, used to feel as a victim, and generally just using our body because we're not educated on what sexual energy can be and the potential of it, which are these two different realms of sexual energy, what we're known, have been taught to be about, which is sharing with another person or for procreation purposes. And then this other side, this other polarity of sexual energy being life force energy and only for myself. So when we see these different polarities, we can start to come to light of the shadows and the light side of this relationship. Now, when I work with women, I start to also delve into the ways that we leak our sexual energy out, and we use that as a source of power to manipulate, to get what we want. And this is something that unconsciously or consciously we do a lot, and it starts to bring a lot of disconnection to our own source of empowerment within our body, within our vagina, and within our sensuality and eroticism in general. So what I find really beautiful is to find the courage to explore the ways that we leak this energy out and use it, and start to bring that back in to ourselves and find the channel to direct that back into this other perspective of the sexuality being for yourself. We also do this in all the other areas that I mentioned, where we bring pleasure, where we bring eroticism through our experience that has to not be shared with someone, but funneled and fueled as a source of inspiration in our life.